All right, so I was having some issues with audio, but hopefully that's resolved somewhat. So, let's see. I also updated the just general, oh, yeah, there we go. Just the general kind of output ratio here, so it should come out like an actual HD now. So, we were working with JavaScript. And that was all well and fine. However, after I made that last video, I quickly realized how little I know about vector mathematics. So, I tried to do some math there. Basically, the idea is like, if you have your ship at some sort of angle of rotation at a certain degree, how do we know that vector is forward? How do we go about moving the character in that vector? And I'm sure it wouldn't be wildly difficult, maybe a couple hours of study at most to resolve that. But game engines for us. So there were also other topics, such as it's not just finding like the direction in which the player needs to move. It's also managing things like delta time and this other stuff I just don't want to manage, not by hand. So today I'm going through the Godot tutorial. I spent a lot of time in Unity back in the day, but I'm running some crappy little laptop. This thing is cheap. I'm surprised it runs anything at all. And I'm hoping Godot isn't as heavy as Unity and Unreal. And I'm hoping a simple 2D game should be achievable. So, we're doing C# instead of GD script, although, like, it's more or less just kind of, this looks very Python-y to me. Which is fine. I just know C#, so we're using C#. Okay, so I have not gone through much. I set up, let's see here. So I set up a project, and here we are. I'm still getting used to the inspector, not the inspector, the UI. And got some coffee here. So they have this little like tutorial game, and they give you the assets and stuff for it. So I was like, heck, why not? Let's do it, So I set up the project, I created the player scene, and so all that really was let's see, yeah. So setting up no animations, just kind of the icons for one of the animations. So it seems like we can either go up, or we can walk left and right, or we can go down or something. I'm not really sure the object of the game, I'm just kind of following it through. So, let's see. Now, I will say, the not great thing about the Godot editor is that resizing is funny. I guess I can see everything. I have this tiling. Tiling is available on Linux, and it just doesn't work very well. But we can make it work. Okay, so I really only ever work off one screen. I mean, I have 1,000 monitors around me, but I just kind of carry around laptops now, so I limit myself to one screen, and the tiling seems to work. Let's see, let's also set up. So I got VS Code set up to where it should have some IntelliSense and should run pretty decently with the Godot engine. Okay, so yeah, we added a player script here. So it wants us to set some speed values and a vector 2 for game size or screen size, which I'm not sure why you would set the size of the game window in the player class, but okay. So the immediate difference I see between this and something like Unity is that in Unity, basically any public variable is going to show up, but here we have to specifically export the variables we want to show. So why we're making this vector 2 screen size a public variable, I don't know. Okay, so but did you see that? We get all of our IntelliSense here, so that's really nice. Okay, now hopefully all of this builds just automagically in, yeah. It's gonna build, right? I had some issues with building yesterday. And I think Godot has kind of... One thing you can say for Unity is that its its like its integration, or maybe writer's integration into it, works very well. I think we're missing something. We are down here at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. So I size this like way too much. Okay. Yeah. So like the integration between this and JetBrains writer, the C# IDE, is really nice. So there is some jankiness, but it's fine. Okay, so I guess we're setting some of these properties. Okay, I was just looking at OBS to make sure everything was good. Alright. So, you know, I will say I don't appreciate new line brackets, but we'll get over it. I think, didn't I have like, yeah, so I have something where auto new lines, so that should get rid of some annoyance for me. Okay, so we're setting screen size in our start. Screen size equals, oh wow, I cannot spell, huh? Screen size equals get view port rect. That right there. Oh, I like this. Dot size. Okay. Rad. So yeah, this is just, you know, on update, on start. This is very typical. For the player, we need to do the following: check input, move, animate. So every frame, yeah, we need to just update typical player behavior. So we'll check by input. Another thing is there's like a lot of project settings stuff in Godot that's interesting. Like they're having me go into the project settings more than I'm used to. Okay. What did we say? Inputs. Input map. Alright. So move right. So we're opening an events management menu. This will be listening for inputs. They're saying right, but I'm gonna go with D. And it's saying do the rest. Okay. So we'll move left, move up, move down. Okay. And then left is A. I like that you can just type it in there. That was nice. Move up, W. Do the classic Half-Life WASD. Alright. Sure. Close. And you can map more than one. So if we need to go back and also do the up, down, left, right arrow keys. Okay. So is action pressed? If it's true, it's pressed, so we do something with it. So they're adding velocity. This right here is... Okay, so this is why I didn't want to code my own... I've done that stuff. I've done it in the past. I just forget a lot of the math, and I don't do... Oh, pardon. I don't do a lot of mathematics in my day-to-day life. I do a lot of logic. And a lot of building and a lot of data management, but I don't do a lot of mathematics. And so stuff like what was I looking up? How to normalize a vector, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, even WikiHow. So it's not exactly like the hardest math. It would just take like more time than I want to put in. You know, they're talking about, oh, well, you need a unit vector, and you'll need to calculate, well, define the normalization. So you're basically normalizing everything to like 0 to 1, which is fine. It's just, I don't want to do it. The nerds already wrote all the stuff for me, you know? Now, granted, there might be some library through npm, npm vector math. Yeah, there is, you know. So yeah, see, you know, so there's stuff that technically exists, but you know, Godot's all the rage, so why not doing it? Why not do a Godot game? I guess because my original, like, plan was, hey, let's make a simple game of JavaScript. But then I realized, hey, I want to do a little more. So, following this tutorial, I'm going to try and make that Asteroids game. That should be fine. So, oh, we're doing this, like, okay. Alright, so we're doing this in the update function, or the process. Velocity equals vector 2.0. Ooh, you know, the semicolons are gonna get to me. I've been coding a lot of JavaScript in Python. So if input dot is action pressed, move right, and I'll just copy these. There we go. And then we'll have a move left, move up, then move down. Okay, so this is all very easy. So plus equals 1 if we want to move this way. I assume it's the same thing as like top left. You know, you have 0, 0 at the very top, and you have like 100, 100 down here. So plus to go, you know, plus to go right, plus to go down. Okay. Oops. Huh. Why do I have two lines selected there? Okay. See, I'm back. Okay, there we go. Not much of a streamer, so kind of switching between these different modes is, yeah, whatever. Velocity. I'm not even streaming. I'm just posting videos. You know, it's like on the off chance someone watches this, and maybe not this video in particular, but watches a video and says, "Oh, that's how you would do it." Oh, that's cool. Lowercase my variable here, because I wonder if it just automatically knows that I mean velocity, not capital velocity. Okay. The kind of autocorrect I don't mind. Oh, move down. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I inverse the move down and move up. So I was like, wait, move up is plus? Okay. No, move up is negative. Just as I thought. Plus equal 1. Okay, so a lot of this code is like very Unity-like. Get node animated sprite 2D, that's very similar to, you know, get component. Almost literally the same. I'm just happy there's some crossover. Like, the concepts are there. Animated sprite 2D equals... Why not declare this? Do we have to get it every time? Like, literally every tick, every frame? We have to try and... That feels not efficient. But that's okay. Oh, yep, animated sprite 2D. And then, oh, we have to, like, get the name. Okay. The path, sprite 2D. If velocity dot length greater than 0. Oh, there we are with my Python. There are no parentheses around if statements in Python. Okay, so what are we doing here? Velocity. So we're setting it to 0, and then oh, the magnitude. Oh, vector mathematics. Not like a length of a list, but the length or the magnitude of the vector. Okay, so as we're plus or minusing 1, that's going to contribute to the overall length. So it would be, our magnitude would be over 0. And if we moved, we're going to take that velocity, normalize it, and then multiply it by our speed, which they set to like 400, I think. Yeah, 400. Whatever that means. It's just a nice value. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can make an effort to actually think through some of this, because in the past I've definitely just like typed stuff out without thinking about it, which is like okay sometimes, especially if you're just trying to prototype and get like an idea of how it works. But I saw like a clamp function. It would be nice to know what clamp means, I've seen that word. I've used clamp functions, but I don't know like the specificities of it. If not even the specificities, just more high level. Okay, so that makes sense. If we're moving, then our velocity goes up. See, yeah, that's why I'm like worried about scoping here. But it should be a reassignment, so I'm not sure why, whatever. Okay, yep, so we're normalizing, so we would get a 1-1, blah, blah, blah. In this case, since we're adding a horizontal and vertical movement, the player would move faster diagonally than if they just moved horizontally. This right here, I've accidentally check the input to obtain a total direction. For example, if you hold right and down at the same time, you would get a greater magnitude. And since you're moving diagonally, you would move faster. I've seen this just naturally from stuff I've coded in the past. I just didn't know normalization was the way to resolve that. Which means we set its length to 1. Max 1, not max 2, right? Then we can multiply by that speed. Maybe I should do their little vector math course. So okay, whatever. This is all GD script. That's cool. I mean, that it's like a weird mix. The $sign's very jQuery to me, which I haven't seen in years. Now that we have a movement direction, we can update the player's position. We can also use a clamp function to prevent it from leaving the screen. Clamp on vector? Is that what we're clamping? It's a clamp. What is clamp? Yeah, like what's the... Here's the Unity doc. I imagine it's clamps the given value between the given minimum and maximum. So we give it a value, and then it's saying stay within that value. So I could see how that might affect. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I see that. Okay, that makes sense. So we're setting the position to our velocity times delta time, I believe. And then we clamp it within the screen size. Okay. So we're gonna dump this in here too? Alright. I don't really care because this is... So we can access position directly like we could transform in Unity. Okay. Velocity times, and we're casting to a float, delta. Because our velocity is a float. Or rather a float representation of vector. as far as I know. Okay, position. Don't take everything I say as true. I am less confident in mathematics than I am other things. X is equivalent to math.clamp, and we'll clamp position dot X. Okay. Oh, okay. So we update the position, the X and Y, and then we take that new value and clamp it within the screen. Okay. That's actually a clever way. In the past, I've always like checked the player position and just not allowed them to move there. I've never like instead of updating the position to them being out of bounds, I would just check and then not update if they were going to go out of bounds. So this is a better way to manage that. Okay, Y, math, f.clamp, position X, or position Y, excuse me, from 0 to screen size dot Y, or dot Y. Oh, semicolon. All right, so we're going to see if we can actually move this guy around. So we have to go back to Godot. We'll build, and then we'll try and play. Then I'm gonna get some coffee. Maybe a spin drift. I like those spin drifts over like LaCroix and some of the other drinks. Okay. Woo! Look at that. We can move him around. Huh. Wow. That's crazy. See, already making progress. Okay. I'll bring it back. I'm gonna go get some coffee. All right. Still good. We're still good. Yeah. All right. You know, OBS is so cool. Back in my day, I don't know how old I look, but I'm closer to 30 than you think. And back in my day, we used to use Fraps. We didn't have OBS, so you would see all these like Minecraft videos, even like, oh, I don't know if I can play it, but C Nanners, he had this whole like Minecraft Let's Play back in the day. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Real old early alpha. And you would need Fraps recorder. You would need Fraps to record it. And this thing was super RAM heavy. But you would see it all over the place, and you would see the little like frame rate in the corner. The font they used for that frame rate is remarkable to me. We can remark upon it. It's memorable, you know? But OBS is king. I mean, it is really solid software. I'm very happy for it. How far into the video are we? I don't time any of this. 30 minutes? Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so I don't need any of that. Okay, let's... Choosing animations. Nice. Cool. So we need to choose an animation. This, I've always had a bad habit in the past of just very much winging it. And like that worked pretty well with Unity. I was able to make some all sorts of stuff with Unity. But you just like, you get in your own way sometimes. Like there's this joke about trying to trial and error your way for like through a problem for like 8 hours versus just taking an hour to read documentation. It's the way it goes. All right, now that the player can move, we need to change which animation we actually play. Sure. Okay, this animation should be flipped horizontally, so we have flip H and flip V for our animations. And we declare that up here. So where does this go? I guess I'm just trying to think of let's place this at the end. Oh, okay. Sure. Sorry. If velocity dot x does not equal 0, animated sprite 2D dot animation equals walk. And the reason it equals walk is because here in sprite frames we have a walk and up animations. So if you were curious. Okay, equals walk, and then animated sprite 2D dot flip v equals false. And then animated sprite 2D dot flip h equals true if velocity is greater than 0. Velocity dot x is greater, or excuse me, less than 0. Not greater, right? Because right now it's looking to the right, so x would be positive as we're moving to the right. But if we want to move to the left, x would grow negative, and thus we would flip the animation. As far as I know. You know, I really like the Godot docs. These are nice. It's like, assuming you know a little bit about programming. I've been programming for 9 years. Oh my god. Long time. But it's like, hey, if you don't get this, why this would be a Boolean assignment, then see note below. It's cool. Alright, let's set the y value. Else if velocity dot y does not equal 0, then the animated sprite 2D, let's set the animation to up, and then was that? New line. There we go. Velocity.y is greater than 0. Yeah. Okay. So I was wondering why this flip V would be set to false, but it would be set to true should this condition be set. So we would say false and then flip it horizontally. Makes sense. Okay, so it's saying, you know, make sure our ducks in a row, make sure our animations work. So let's do just that. Yeah, look at that. Basic animations there, that's cool. I'll take it. Let's get this music's okay. I just like, I would love to play stuff like this, but I just don't know if it's, you know, if it's cool. But I don't really want like super low beat. Can we, is there like My Little Pony? Okay. How's that? Techno gaming? I don't know. That's like very edgy. What does this sound like? Oh, it's 2 minutes long. No, I need like a thing. Oh, 200 videos. Oh, okay. Oh, that's like, that's a little much for me. Like, closed out YouTube for me. Okay, what about... Love Adrian Linker. You have some guitar? I play guitar. Maybe I should just play my own jams. Sure. Oh, lo-fi hip-hop, dude. I don't... Like, I love hip-hop. I like the lo-fi stuff. I just, like, man, can we, like... do something else, though, sometimes? We got some jazz. Can I get some bossa nova? Does this work? If you guys copyright me, I'm gonna be pissed. Deep meditation, dude. I don't want like the slowest music in the world. I just want like some jams, you know. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Sure. What does this sound like? I don't even know if you guys can hear this. I have nothing figured out. It's still really slow, but whatever. Let's get back to the tutorial. Okay. The common mistake here... yeah, whatever. The common mistake here is that you're doing it wrong. That's funny. But that's cool they pointed it out, because stuff like that has gotten to me. Where you, like, capitalize the W. This totally happened to me. Add this line to ready so that the player will be hidden when the game starts. Okay. I can do that. Preparing for collisions. We want player to detect when it's hit by an enemy, but we haven't made any enemies yet. That's okay, because we're going to use Godot's signal functionality to make it work. Add the following to the top of the script. If you're using GD script, add it after extends area. Okay. So literally, like, it's saying at the top. So a signal, is that like, what did Unity call it? I remember the, like, on collision enter and, oh, triggers. That's what it was. You would trigger an event. Okay. Delegate? You know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever used delegates before in C#. Nor if I use, like, partial classes. I don't really know. A delegate is a type that represents references to methods with a particular parameter list and return type. When you instantiate a delegate, you can associate its instance with any method with a compatible signature and return type. You can invoke or call the method through the delegate instance. Delegates are used to pass methods as arguments to other methods. Oh, callbacks? Or more or less. Okay, fine. Ugh. Gotta remember to stretch. Okay. Fine. Okay. What's a partial class? Partial classes and methods. Declaring a... Oh, okay. Let's see. Huh. Interesting. So it allows you to kind of implement partial classes in multiple ways, in multiple definitions, which might be useful for a game engine, but would explain why I've never used it personally. That's interesting. Okay. Sure. I might not get these concepts 100%, but at least, like, enough to say, oh, okay, sure. I don't know. For me, it takes studying, like, the use of these things for it to really click, but okay, whatever. Okay, it wants us to just rebuild. That's fine. Okay, this defines a custom signal called hit that we will use, or that we will have our player emit when it collides with an enemy. We will use area 2D to detect the collision. Select the player node and click the node tab next to the inspector tab, okay, to see all of the different signals. Oh, okay, so they have body entered, body node TD. Notice our custom hit signal is there as well. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Sure. So we want body entered. Okay. So it says click connect. Okay, it said it wrote it, but it wrote it like, it's like, we'll write that function for you. But then it like definitely throws it outside of the class. That's fine though. I like how they write their bugs into their documentation. That's fine. Okay. It's very honest of them. Okay. Player disappears after being hit. Holy crap. Emits signal name dot hit. Okay, so that's defined for us. Okay. So it's saying this was hit. Okay. What the frick does that mean? What is set deferred? Must be deferred as we can't change physics properties on a physics callback. Huh. Assigns value to a given property at the end of the current frame. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So it's like, we want to set this, but we can't set it here. So set it at the end of the current frame. That is to say, at the very end of the... Oh, that's really clever. That's cool. Okay. Makes sense to me. Collision shape 2D dot property name dot disabled true. Let's wrap that. Okay, so we disable it because we don't want it, the hit signal just kind of continually going off as something hits and then sits there for a frame or two. And then we enable it. Okay. Oh, wait. This is a new function altogether. I was thinking Unity. Saw start and just assumed, you know, start, not ready. Yeah, to add a function, maybe if I read it. Position, post position, show, get node, collision, shape, 2D. Oh boy. I 50 minutes. Kind of want to take a solid break before I jump into the enemy section. So maybe I'll break it here, and the next video will be coding the enemy. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. All right.